Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vahe Jio, Vaheguru, 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 Vahe Jio.
Satnam, everyone. This is Puranjot Kaur from 3HO Foundation. Thank you all so much for being here at this class today, presented by Sikh Dharma International with Sada Simran Singh. Thank you, Sada Simran, for being here with us today. We're so very grateful.
Thank you, Puranjot. Satnam, everybody. Thank you for coming, and happy Solstice. Today is Peace Prayer Day, and over the last 40 to 50 years, we've all gotten together to celebrate and honor peace. And it's wonderful to be able to do that even in this time. So to begin, let's please tune in. Bring your palms together at the center of your chest. Focus at the third eye point. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale to tune in. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Om Namo Gurudev Namo. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Ad Gure Name, Jugad Gure Name, Sat Gure Name, Sri Gurudeve Name. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Sada Simran Singh. I live in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So I'm very lucky because I'm going to take my kids up to Ramdaspuri, and we're going to camp up there for a night or two and just be able to be in the vibration up there, even for those who can't travel. There's a group of us in New Mexico who just want to be able to be in that land and remember wonderful gatherings and the experience there. So we're going to get to do some of that, feeling very lucky about that. Today, I would like to address something that seems to be growing in the community of Kundalini Yoga practitioners and teachers. And I want to address a little bit of a misconception that may be growing, that in the formula of this lifestyle, as given by the teachers and sages for the last 5,000 to 10,000 years, humility and sacrifice are essential on the path for the student. Student of what and of whom is all fine to debate, doesn't really matter. But there's a basic concept and reality in this spiritual path. Wherever I exist, thou does not exist. Very simple. Wherever I get so into me, I cannot see thou. Thou alone no longer exists. So, in a way, the atheists got it right, because they don't believe in God, because they're caught up in the I. And the I can be a communal I, community I. It can be anything from within the world and existence of Maya that distracts us from recognizing God within everything around us. And God, it doesn't matter if it's a a man in a cloud, or if it's the experience of infinity within all, God is a concept that allows us to relate to that infinity that's beyond us, that doesn't die, beyond birth and death, beyond our own concepts, beyond our own consciousness. The creator of everything that resides within everything, that energy life force that flows through everything, that sound current and vibratory frequency that has carried the universe to its continual expanding nature. That's what we're connecting with. But when we get so caught up in the I within us, it's difficult to see that, to relate to the infinity within everything. And this is the teachings of Guru Nanak through Guru Gobind Singh in the Sri Guru Granth. Is the teachings are based on this one inherent concept. The moment my ego infests my consciousness to such a degree that I cannot relate to the reality, which is that the universe is built on infinity, and that infinity, that frequency and sound current and vibration and energy resides within everything. And I cannot recognize God's presence in everything, then I lose sight of God completely. That's the foundation of the teachings. So how to connect with that? How can we relate to this infinity that we're so distracted by? In the Vedas, they talk about Shiva is very trustworthy when his third eye is closed. Because when Shivji's third eye is closed, he's looking with two eyes. And he lives in a dualistic duality nature, looking with two eyes at reality. Two ears, two eyes, two nostrils, everything is dualistic. When Shiva lives in that way, you can trick him. That's what the Vedas talk about. Shivji then is susceptible to any kind of trickery or manipulation. But you really have to be scared of Shiva when his third eye is open, because then he has no doubt. He uses his intuition and he can see. And then the god of death does his job without any inhibition. This is the Vedic teachings. And when you apply this to your own self, it's the same thing. When you live through your intuition, you cannot be fooled and you do not feel that sensation of doubt. When you don't relate to that part of your existence that's connected to something beyond your intellect, beyond your sensory system, and can connect with the frequency that continues to grow and expound, then we can be fooled. We can be full of doubt. And I want to touch on this because this time in the world is so full of pain, doubt, and suffering. Yesterday was Juneteenth, and the entire world seems to be celebrating a shift in consciousness where racism and prejudice will not be accepted anymore. We won't stand for it. We're human beings. We're not divided by that, and we want change. The movements and protests happening across the United States and across the world are that voice. We are a part of this. Our consciousness is aligned with this, and we can grow and expand ourselves to support and promote this kind of elevation to a society and a humanity that lives for higher consciousness, to serve each other, to not live at each other, but live for each other. And that's the ultimate goal that we're trying to do with this lifestyle and this practice. There's a story of Guru Ram Das, who may be one of the most perfect examples of total humility and sacrifice. Guru Ram Das was the fourth Guru of the Sikhs. And Guru Nanak started the path and did not pass his seat of authority and guidance, the guruship, onto either of his sons, which in India is very rare. It's almost unheard of not to keep it within bloodline. Baba Sri Chand, the elder son of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, was a very powerful and accomplished yogi. And he was given a task by Guru Nanak Dev Ji to go and bring all of the master yogis, the rishi munis, and the sadhus back into alignment with using their consciousness and their power to serve. Get rid of all the manipulation and black magic from within the realm that did exist, and the corruption of these ascetics who were leaving the people, and get them back into society. But he did not pass the lineage of guruship to his son, Baba Sri Chand. He passed it on to Lerna, who became Guru Angad Dev Ji, then who passed it on to Guru Amar Das Ji, who passed it on to Guru Ram Das. None of these are the bloodline of Guru Nanak Dev. So there was always an issue. Baba Sri Chand and the yogis often tested the waters with the lineage of Nanak. And there was such a meeting between Baba Sri Chand and Guru Ram Das. Now, Baba Sri Chand was a completely enlightened being. He was called a Bal yogi, which means a yogi who still is a child. Bal means child. Because it is said that he lived to be 160-something years old, but in appearance never aged beyond an 18-year-old boy. So he was known as a Bal yogi. He breathed once every 4 minutes, which turned his skin blue, because the circulation was so potent in that way. The skin color changed, so he's always depicted as a blue color. He brought all the 8 schools of yoga to meet this Guru Ram Das, who was said to be the most humble and beautiful saint. And when Baba Sri Chand met with him, Guru Ram Das bowed at his feet, touched his feet, took his own beard and washed the feet of Baba Sri Chand. Baba Sri Chand was insulting Guru Ram Das, telling him, "You're not a real yogi, you're not this, you're not that." But Guru Ram Das said, he said, "Why do you keep this image? Why do you have such a long beard? What's the point of that?" And Guru Ram Das said, "This beard was given to me to wash the feet of holy men like you." And he got on all fours and he took his beard and he started washing Baba Sri Chand's feet. And it is said that it was in that moment that Baba Sri Chand recognized why the lineage of Nanak didn't come to him and why it went to Lerna, Baba Amar Das, and to Guru Ram Das. Baba Sri Chand his eyes were filled with tears at the humility of Guru Ram Das. And he got down, lifted Guru Ram Das up, and got down on the floor and bowed his head at Guru Ram Das's feet with all the authority of the schools of yoga, and bowed at the feet of Guru Ram Das and acknowledged Guru Ram Das as Takht Raj Yog, the sitting on the throne of Raj Yog, being the Lord of miracles and the master of all the schools of yoga, and said that it's the humility of Guru Ram Das that brought him this blessing, because the throne of Raj Yoga is not conquered, it's bestowed from the lineages prior. It was the humility of Guru Ram Das that won the yogis' hearts and their service and support. The best way to connect with that consciousness of humility is to see how they spoke, how they wrote, how they meditated. Guru Ram Das was Guru for not such a long time, but his writings are many, his teachings are many, and his contribution is profound. He's the one who writes about the Kundalini energy rising through his system, and he gave a Shabad about that. You can meditate on it. We call it the Kundalini Surji Shabad. But in it, Jinu baat nischal tru jani tai jeev kalte bacha. He's talking about how through Prahlad was saved from death because of his devotion and his connection with God. Talking about the creative energy and life force The whole world is just like a bubble floating across the water. It can pop and disintegrate within an instant. It rises up and falls in that way. The whole world and existence is just like that. Okay? And in that consciousness and that experience, he had the awakening of the Kundalini within his system. Kundalini surji sat sangat paramanand guru mukh macha. He proclaims that in that experience, the Kundalini awoke and rose through his system, and it's a proclamation to the Sad Sangat. Paramanand Guru Mukhumacha. Okay? Through the recitation of the Guru's word, through the Guru's face, it emulated and expounded this beautiful radiance of his experience. And he says, Sri Guru Sahib Sab Upar, Man Bach Karm Seviya Sacha, gives the formula then. The Sri Guru, that Guru which cannot be bought or sold. That's why it's called the Sri Guru. You give a donation, the message you receive is the same regardless. The Guru of the Guru of our Gurus, Guru Ramdas, his Guru, was of course Guru Amar Das, Guru Angad, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji. But the Guru that he meditated with every day is the Shabad Guru, and that is a Sri Guru. Cannot be altered, cannot be bought or sold, and it will always deliver the message to reach you to your highest destiny. Sri Guru Sahib means the great Sri Guru. Sab Upar is above all else. Man Bach Karm Seviya Sacha. Okay, Man, mind, Bachan is your spoken word, Karam is your deeds, and Seviya is your service, will all be true by the grace of that Guru. It's an obeisance to the Sri Guru that Guru Ramdas states in his experience of total exalted consciousness and uplifted spirit. He gives his total supplication to the Sri Guru and gives all credit to that. This is the formula of the Gurus, and this is the way a Sikh lives. Everything we do is by thy grace. Everything we receive is by thy grace. Ketyan dukh pukh sadmar ehpi dat teri datar. Guru Nanak Dev Ji talks about millions upon millions of pain and suffering I receive. That is also a gift from you. Recognizing the gift in all that we receive is living in Chardi Kala and giving that consciousness. But this requires a sacrifice of your identity to allow the identity of existence and God to come into your existence and your life. That's what they're doing. There's another story, and we're going to do some practice in just a minute, but I wanted to give one other story of an example of the consciousness of the Gurus in Guru Tegh Bahadur's life. Now, I'm here on behalf of Sikh Dharma International. I'm representing our relationship to the Sikh way of life in this practice of 3HO, Kundalini Yoga, and this community of conscious humans. This relationship with the Guru is our altar, which has no alternative. Okay? There was a merchant who was traveling across the ocean and came across a storm. And all of his goods that he was bringing and his whole livelihood and all of his hopes were in that ship. And as he was crossing, this tumultuous storm came and started rocking the boat and shaking everything around. And he had heard that the Gurus of the Sikhs were all powerful and could accomplish any miracles. So he began to pray. He knew that the ship was going to sink and everyone was going to die. He was going to lose his life, and he was going to suffer, and he was terrified. So he prayed to the Guru of the Sikhs. And somehow the ship, and his promise was, if you get me across this, I promise to give you 500 gold coins. And somehow through this storm, 30-foot waves, 100-mile-an-hour winds, you can imagine a small wooden ship, merchant ship coming across the ocean. His boat made it. He arrived at the shore. He got a good profit on the merchandise, but he was a man of his word, and he knew that he had to deliver on his word. So he went in search of the Guru. This was a very doubtful time in the lineage of the Sikhs. Guru Harkrishan, who was an 8-year-old guru who lived in Delhi and cured thousands of people of smallpox at the time, had just passed. And the only delivery of the lineage of the gurus was that they said, who is the next guru? And he said, Baba Bakala. Now, Bakala is an area in the Punjab. Baba means it's like an old man, an old wise man. So when Guru Harkrishan on his deathbed said Baba Bakala, that opened the floodgates for all kinds of shenanigans from different people wanting to claim guruship of all the Sikhs. And so there was a period of time where nobody knew who the Guru was. And people would go to Bakala, which became a very popular spot for Sikhs of the Gurus to go and get guidance. And they would come up to Bakala and they would meet with some holy men who claimed to be the Guru of the Sikhs, give them money, get blessings and leave. But there were 30 or 40 of these guys in town claiming to be the Guru of the Sikhs. So this merchant man comes to Bakala in search of the Guru. And he saw the whole charade that was going on. And he did not trust it for 1 minute. So he went to he asked around, who is the Guru? And one person said, go to this guy. He's the real Guru. He's got these powers and he has this, that, and the other. They went and met the guy. He wasn't super impressed. Then he asked who's the next one, was sent to somebody else. He met with a few of them and he decided he needed to do his own scientific study to find the real Guru. So he went to each person with total devotion and humility and put 5 gold coins in front of them and bowed his head and said, you are the Guru and bless me. And each of these wonderful Babas said, because 5 gold coins was a lot of money at that time, they said, bless you. I give you my blessings and your donation is very much appreciated. And he just couldn't get into it. These guys were all charlatans. He knew it. He went through all 40 of the guys in town and was not satisfied. So he kept asking around, is there any other Baba of Bakala? Is there anyone else? And they said, no, there's nobody, no one around. Finally, somebody said, well, there's this kind of crazy guy who lives just outside of town. And, he doesn't talk much. He won't see people. But he's there. You could go talk to him if you're not satisfied. I mean, there's all these wonderful saints here. But if you need somebody, go talk to him. So sure enough, this was the son of Guru Hargobind, who, after fighting in the wars of the Guru, became very sick of war and battle and went into seclusion. His name was Teg Bahadur, Teg Mal, and became known as Teg Bahadur. Teg is a kind of sword, and Bahadur means a champion. He became so sick and tired of war and battle that he went into seclusion and meditated by himself for 26 years. So this merchant man decided, okay, this is my last hope. I'm going to come in. This is the last test. I need to find the true Guru of the Sikhs because there's so much doubt and suffering within the community at this time, and I can't take it anymore. But I was carried across that ocean, and I need to give my head to that person who carried me across. So he went, met with Baba Bakala, met with, Teg Mal at the time, and he put 5 gold coins in front of Teg Mal and bowed his head and said, O Guru of the Sikhs, please accept my offering and thanks for all that you have done for me. And Guru Teg Bahadur looked down at the money and said, where's the rest? And the guy said, what are you talking about? I'm giving this out of my humility. He said, you promised 500 gold coins and here you come giving only 5. My back is sore from carrying that heavy ship. You make big promises, but you don't deliver? That's not a true Sikh of the Guru. We live up to our word. And that's how we found Guru Teg Bahadur. Baba Bakala did not come out and make a big show trying to demonstrate how important or fantastic he was. Baba Bakala was very simply just meditating and waiting for the Sikhs to realize the true Guru. There was no ego in his actions. There was no, they need to recognize me like every other Baba was doing at the time. And thanks to this wonderful commitment from this merchant, we found Guru Tegh Bahadur, who then came to lead the Sikhs into total ecstasy and bliss, and his writings are incredible. He was so connected with time. We call it death. They refer, the word for, in Gurmukhi, the word for death and time is the same thing. There's no difference. And Guru Tegh Bahadur really delivered that experience of it. I want to, Guru Ram Das was so powerful in his devotion and his humility that even his shabads that represent the highest consciousness of humankind in that state of consciousness and ecstasy, even in those moments, this is an example. He said, Koi aan milave mera pritam pyara, hon tis peh aap vechai. Now, that means, can somebody come and introduce me to my beloved, the one who I love, the one who will carry me and be with me? I would sell myself as a slave to that person if they can introduce me and have me meet that beloved. This is Guru Ram Das talking. This is the example of humility and sacrifice. Sacrifice right there. I'll sell myself as a slave. Now, this is not post-Juneteenth era. This slavery is very common. Slaves was just a way of life, and especially in the area that the Sikhs lived in the Punjab, raiders would come from all sides and capture up people and drag them into slavery, and there was always that threat. They knew what it was. First-hand experience knew what it was. And Guru Ram Das said, I would sell myself to that person who can introduce me to my beloved. My beloved is that infinite, undying being that carries through and lives within every heart. Darshan har dekhan ke ta'i, kripa kare ta Sadguru mile har har naam ਧਿਆਈ. Then he gives the formula. Darshan means to have an experience of, to see, to witness, to feel, to listen to experience something is called having darshan of it, okay? He said, darshan har dekhan ke ta'i. I want to have darshan of Hari, of God, okay? I want to see it. I want to experience it. Kripa kare ta Sadguru mile har har naam ਧਿਆਈ. The Guru, the Satguru, the true Guru, blessed me and showed compassion and gave me that experience. And the way it happened was meditating on the Naam. Dhyayi means to concentrate, to meditate, to contemplate on the Naam, the identity of Har Har. Okay? This is Guru Ram Das's formula for having that darshan. Anybody can experience it. The biggest gift that the human gurus left us was a written format and a map to their experience of highest consciousness. Sri Guru Granth is an embodiment of that. And a lot of the mantras we use in Kundalini Yoga come from this lineage of experience and mantra. These writings were done by those people in that exact experience at that time. It's not a concept, it's an experience. It's not a thought process, it's a delivery of consciousness. It's very different than other, it's not about a comparison, but you have to understand what the Sri Guru Granth is. It is a complete connected flow of consciousness. And that's what we're tapping into by meditating on, understanding, studying, immersing ourselves, and reciting these mantras. So as a practice, first thing we're going to do, we're going to recite it's the 15th Pauree, but 14th Pauree of Japji. It has the number 15 after it, and I'll put it on the screen. This is a beautiful practice because this one delivers you when in a total state of doubt, when you can't find your way, when you're lost of your purpose, when you can't see through what your destiny has set you to do, okay? This will show you that way. And we're going to do very simple recitation 108 times. And please recite it with me. I'm just going to step forward to put it on the screen. And you should be able to see it. But what I want you to do when reciting this is try and consciously align your sound current from the navel point. There are 4 points to consciously be aware of. Navel point, which is technically 2 finger widths below the belly button, but the energy center can shift. People who study chakras know this. But navel point, heart center, throat, and the tip of the tongue. These 4 points are very important when practicing mantra, nad yoga, reciting path, doing your banis. Try and keep this channel, this sort of echo chamber within yourself, this chamber of sound that it resonates through. Keep it open. Try not to block any one point. When you block your heart center, you can hear it. When you block your throat, you can hear it. There's no power from the throat. When you can't formulate the sound in your mouth, you can hear it. When it doesn't originate from the navel point, it's not received. So try and keep these things open and feel the sound travel through those points. Okay. But it's number 15. Manna pave mokh duar, manna parvara sadhar, manna tare tari gur sikh, manna nanak pave na pikh. Aisa naam niranjan hoye je ko man jane man koe. So open your nitanims. It's the last manna pauree from Japji, number 15, or you can pull it up on an app, whatever you need to do. But please set yourself in a meditative posture, ideally with your spine straight. If you're sitting in a chair, feet should be touching the ground, be connected with the ground. Be comfortable in whichever posture. You can get your mala, we're going to do 108. And try and focus on where the sound goes. Don't worry too much about anything else. All right, sit up straight, close your eyes, set yourself for this, and we'll just recite a little bit quickly, but as you follow along, it should become more easy, more second nature. And it's not a long pauree, so it won't take us very long. All right. Inhale to begin. Manna pave mokh duar, manna parvara sadhar, manna tare tari gur sikh, manna nanak pave na pikh, aisa naam niranjan hoye je ko man jane man koe. Manna pave mokh duar, manna parvara sadhar, manna tare tari gur sikh, manna nanak pave na pikh, aisa naam niranjan hoye je ko man jane man koe. Manna pave mokh duar, manna parvara sadhar, manna tare tari gur sikh, manna nanak pave na pikh, aisa naam niranjan hoye je ko man jane man koe. Manna pave mokh duar, manna parvara sadhar, manna tare tari gur sikh, manna nanak pave na pikh, aisa naam niranjan hoye je ko man jane man koe. Manna pave mokh duar, manna parvara sadhar, manna tare tari gur sikh, manna nanak pave na pikh, aisa naam niranjan hoye je ko man jane man koe. Manna pave mokh duar, manna parvara sadhar, manna tare tari gur sikh, manna nanak pave na pikh, aisa naam niranjan hoye je ko man jane man koe. ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੇ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। ਮੰਨੈ ਪਾਵੈ ਮੋਖ ਦੁਆਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਪਰਵਾਰੈ ਸਾਧਾਰ, ਮੰਨੈ ਤਰੈ ਤਾਰੀ ਗੁਰ ਸਿੱਖ, ਮੰਨੈ ਨਾਨਕ ਭਵੈ ਨ ਭਿਖ। ਐਸਾ ਨਾਮ ਨਿਰੰਜਨ ਹੋਏ, ਜੇ ਕੋ ਮਨ ਜਾਣੈ ਮਨ ਕੋਏ। मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन हुए जे को मन जाने मन कोय मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन हुए जे को मन जाने मन कोय मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन हुए जे को मन जाने मन कोय मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन हुए जे को मन जाने मन कोय मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए जे को मन जाने मन कोय मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए जे को मन जाने मन कोय मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए जे को मन जाने मन कोय मन्नै पावै मोख द्वार मन्नै परवार ऐसा आधार मन्नै तरै तारी गुर सिख मन्नै नानक पवै न पिख ऐसा नाम निरंजन होए जे को मन जाने मन कोय Inhale deeply, hold the breath, close your eyes. Exhale and let the breath be relaxed, but sit still, meditate, listen to the sound current, listen to this mantra that you've been reciting. Just sit still. Vaheguru, and relax. This is a very beautiful mantra. Pauree from Japji Sahib from Guru Nanak Dev. You can see in the translation. But the problem in this translation you're seeing is faithful. I'm just going to contest that one part of it. Jo manya doesn't mean faithful. Manana means to accept, means to come to terms with something or to agree with something, or like in Punjabi, se main man liya si, like I accepted it. I agreed. The guy told me this, I accepted it. This happened to me, I accepted it. Those who live in the constant state of acceptance, conscious acceptance, okay, means that they have accepted the will of God. They've accepted their existence and their purpose. They've accepted what comes to them in the world and in life. Manna means accept. Faithful is just a translation, you know? It's just somebody saying, faithful is so important. You have to have faith in God. It's very religious to translate it as faithful. The human translation is acceptance, okay? So through acceptance, we receive the door of liberation. There is a specific experience of coming into that threshold between the cycle of birth and death and karma and suffering and happiness and maya and existence, and going through to a state of liberated consciousness beyond all of that, where you merge with the infinite and your individual identity no longer exists. That's what they talk about, Mokh Duar, door of liberation. Mokh means to be liberated. Duar means a gate. So those who live in acceptance reach that gate. Those who live in acceptance uplift all those around them, even their bloodline and ancestry, even their family or immediate family, and all the people who come into their existence and relationships that they have. They uplift them. Those who live in a state of acceptance, their tarna is to swim across, okay? This goes in line with the story of Baba Bakala, but tare tare means that you swam across and you cleared, because the fear of drowning in a land of 5 rivers, for people who have flash floods, for those who live at sea, it's a real threat. So the Guru uses this example that you're carried across this existence of Maya that you can forever be submerged and drowned within. Those who live in acceptance swim across. Okay? Oh Nanak, don't go around trying to get from other people. Don't go begging from there. Don't go begging from here. I'm going to talk about this concept that has been being thrown around. The Guru within. Okay? And here's where Nanak asserts that. The Guru within is not your mind. It's not your thoughts. Your intuition can relate to it, but who knows when intuition's working, when it's not. It's not a concept. It's not an authority to be able to tell others what to do, or that you're perfect. Who cares about being perfect? Nobody cares anymore. Perfect means nothing. Doesn't exist. Living in acceptance, accepting the hukum of your existence, the will of God within your realm of existence and experience, those you meet, those who cause you pain and suffering, those who give you gifts, accepting this will and this existence, that is connecting with the inner Guru, living in acceptance, okay? That's why Guru Nanak says, through acceptance, don't go around asking others, go within. Don't go begging from here or there. You have the source with the Guru. You don't need to go anywhere else. Sit down and meditate. Such is the name of the Immaculate Noor. Aisa naam niranjana hoye jeko man jana man koi, right? The Naam is the whole thing. The foundation of our total practice is on the Naam. This experience of that identity which exists everywhere. Seeing God in everything. Experiencing the true primordial, infinite vibratory frequency through meditating on the Shabad Guru. And connecting with that and living with that. You can't be separate from others. You can't be separate from the infinite. That's what they're talking about. Aisa naam niranjana hoye, jeko man jana man koi. Those who have accepted it, okay, they know, they've experienced that. That's what we just recited. That's the experience we went through. I want to give a few Shabad examples of this consciousness and state of acceptance and sacrifice. And then we're going to sing a Shabad and move on very quickly. So beautiful. Kabir says, Jo janale khasm ka nao, tin ke sad balihare jaun. Whoever takes this khasm ka nao, the name of that master and lord of everything, that I'm a possession of, being born into this human flesh, this shirt that we wear, I'm a possession of that infinite master. Whoever takes that name, whoever speaks that name, may I ever be a sacrifice to that person. May I ever be a sacrifice and give myself to that person. This is the importance of sacrifice on the path of Dharma. Where there is Dharma, there's no karma. And the best definition of Dharma I've ever heard is when you act out of compassion, when you live in compassion. Japji Sahib says, Dhol dharm daya ka poot. Okay, daya means compassion. Daya is the son of Dharma. What comes out of living a dharmic lifestyle, living in righteousness, getting up and doing your sadhana every day, working on yourself, serving others, being a person of light that can go into dark places and uplift, being a person who confronts their own darkness, their own shadow, their own ego, and uplifts yourself so that you may be bright and shiny to those around you. The birth of that is compassion. The offshoot of that is compassion. Okay? We live in compassion. That's when you know there's dharma there. When you do things for yourself, that's karma. When you live in ego and you do yourself, you do for you. Serving others is not in your rhetoric, I got to take care of number one. That's karma. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you walk this path of dharma, kanyotikhi valoniki et marg jana, to walk this path, you have to walk the edge of a knife. You can slip on either way. But to keep on that path, keep connecting with the source, with the Guru. Keep finding your guide through that. Okay? Guru Arjan Dev Ji talks about what it is to relate to the Guru. And this is very important when it comes to ego. Satguru Aga Sees Pet Dev Je Satguru Satya Pave. In front of the Satguru, take your head off of your shoulders, put it in your hand and give it as a gift to the Guru. Okay? The Satguru, the true Guru, take your head off of your shoulders and give it to the Guru. Take your intellect and your concept of, oh, you're so smart, I know this, I know that, I. Take the I off of your shoulders and put it as a gift to the Guru. Jai Sadguru Satya Pave. Okay? If the Guru deems you worthy to do so and desires it, then do that without hesitation. Ape daya karo prabhadate nanak ank samave. Another form of compassion, the Guru gives himself, gives that compassion. Okay? God, give me this gift through your compassion to give my head as a gift to the Guru, that I may be merged with the Guru. Nanak ank samave means, Nanak ank samave means there's no separation from your identity, and that it's water merging within water. You become that infinite thing when you can live that way, when you can give your head to the true Guru. This sacrifice of your identity. That's why we wear bana. That's why you dress in this dress, is sacrificing your individual identity to be a resource to others as a person of light and service. That's what bana is all about. And then what happens when you merge with God? Ja tu mere wal hai ta kya moh chanda, tud sab kich mainu sopya ja tera banda. When I become your slave, okay, you entrusted me with everything. You entrusted me with your authority. You entrusted me with power. You entrusted me with life force. You entrusted me with the strength of sacrifice, the power to serve others, to know to serve myself. All of these things you entrusted me with. Because when you're with me, I have nothing to worry about. There's no fear or worry or issue in my life as long as you're with me. I am your slave. Sacrifice, humility. This is the theme of the day. Don't get caught up in you are your own Guru and therefore you have some authority to speak. Sacrifice and humility is this path. The path of Kundalini Yoga is a Shakti Yoga. We call on that Shakti to uplift ourselves, that we may heal ourselves, heal others. We may enlighten ourselves, enlighten others. We may uplift ourselves, uplift others. It's a path of humility and sacrifice. Without humility, we can fall. And the formula for this, okay, is within the teachings of the Gurus, and you can find it there. And I encourage you to study it. You do your Japji every morning as your sadhana. That's your experience of that. It's perfect. Farid ji has a very beautiful thing. He says, Farida bureda palakar, gussa manna handaye. ठीक है? Dehi rog na lagai palle sab ke chupaye. Farida says, hey Farida, he's like slapping himself in the face. Wake up, Farid. Okay? Serve evil people. Serve bad things. Serve them. You're not better than any of this. Serve all those around you. Bad or good doesn't matter. Serve bad things. My judgment, this is good and bad, I'm getting rid of that. I serve all. I serve evil. I serve good. I serve, right? Uplift even bad people. Gussa manana handaye. Handaona means to allow it to take over, to enter into your being and become part of you. Don't allow anger to come into your mind and your heart. Do not allow anger there. I judge those outside of me as bad, that's allowing this sensation of judgment and anger into my system, don't even let that happen. Serve bad people. Uplift them. And if you do that, if you can serve all and have zero judgment, you'll have no disease within your body. There will be no sickness or pain or suffering. And you can get everything. Any desire you might have will come to you if you serve all and you don't see the difference of bad and good, and you don't allow anger into your system. Okay, I wanted to deliver this. Just a few things. There's a lot of talk going around, and we have to be careful. Stay true to your path. Do your practice. Don't get faltered by any negativity or any doubt. You have doubt, use your tools to address the doubt. Okay? Doubt is human. It's not a big deal. But we have wonderful tools to deal with it. Now we're going to sing a Shabad, and I'm going to send, Puran Jot, I'm going to send you an image of this Shabad to please share with people that you can pull up, translation, transliteration as well. This is a really beautiful Shabad. It really speaks to the experience we're having, okay? It's from Bhagat Ravi Das in the Siddhi Guru Granth. And within this, you can find the definition of humility and this formula of wherever I exist, you no longer exist. Bhagat Ravi Das talks about it. He delivers that experience. And he also talks about how confusing it is to live in this weird existence. We've got this bones and skin and flesh and eyes and ears and our sensory systems, and how strange it is. We live in a dream. It's very difficult to differentiate between reality and a dream with this. Okay? And this doubt, sensation of doubt, fear, unease, not knowing the way, not knowing our path, not knowing ourselves. Bhagat Ravi Das speaks to that experience. We're almost out of time, so I would like to leave some space for more questions. I'm going to sing this Shabad with you, and please sing along if you feel inspired. But if you have questions, please put them in the chat during this time. And we have, eSummit and all discipline, try and be good and on point. We have to end at 12:30 sharp. So, please sing with me. First thing that I do when I sing Kirtan, and you can all do this in your practice, and this is the reason I'm telling you, is because there's an element of sacrifice, submitting to your own intellect, your own ego, and allowing the Guru to come through. That happens. It's called a Mangala Charan, and in this we sing lines of Bani that are about sacrificing our own self and bowing to the infinite. Dandaut bandhan anik baar, sarv kala samrati. Dolan te rakho Prabhu, Nanak de kar hath. Maskan bhaganant sailan kard mantrant papil keh, sagaran langat bingan tam pargas khand keh. Sad sangin simrant gobind, Sad sangin simrat gobind, sarn nanak hare hare hare. जब हम होते तब तुम नहीं, अब तुम ही मैं नहीं. अनल अगम जैसे लहर में उदत, जल केवल जल माही। जब हम होते तब तू नहीं, अब तू ही मैं नहीं। अनल अगम जैसे लहर में उदत, जल केवल जल माही। माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म सा, माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म सा। जैसा मानिए कोई न तैसा, जैसा मानिए कोई न तैसा। माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म सा, माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म सा। जैसा मानिए मानिए, जैसा मानिए मानिए, जैसा मानिए कोई न तैसा। माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म सा, माधवे। नरपत एक सिंहासन सोया, सुपने पया भिखारी। नरपत एक सिंहासन सोया, सुपने पया भिखारी। अछत राज बिछुत दुख पाया, अछत राज बिछुत दुख पाया। अछत राज बिछुत दुख पाया, सोगत पई हमारी। सोगत पई हमारी, सोगत पई हमारी। राजपयंग प्रसंग जैसे है, अब कच्छ मर्म जनाया। राजपयंग प्रसंग जैसे है, अब कच्छ मर्म जनाया। सनि दब दब नि दब दब गब धनि सा। राजपयंग प्रसंग सनि दब गब दब दब गब घरे सा। गब धनि सा, गब धनि सा, गब धनि सा नि दब गब धनि दब गब घरे सा। राजपयंग प्रसंग जैसे है, अब कच्छ मर्म जनाया। राजपयंग प्रसंग जैसे है, अब कच्छ मर्म जनाया। राज राज राजपयंग राज राजपयंग प्रसंग जैसे है, अब कच्छ मर्म जनाया। अनिक काटिक जैसे भूल परे, अनिक काटिक जैसे भूल परे। अब कहते कहने ना आया, अब कहते कहने ना आया। सर्वे एक अनेक स्वामी, सब कट भोग वसूरी। सर्वे एक अनेक स्वामी, सब कट भोग वसूरी। सर्वे 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 एक अनेक स्वामी, सब कट भोग वसूरी। कह रविदास हाथ पहनीर, कह रविदास हाथ पहनीर। सहजे हुए सुबूरी, सहजे हुए सुबूरी, सहजे हुए सुबूरी। माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म सा, माधवे क्या कहिए। जैसा मानिए होए न तैसा, जैसा मानिए होए न तैसा। माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म Madhave, Madhave, Madhave. क्या कहिए ब्रह्म ऐसा वाहे माधवे क्या कहिए ब्रह्म ऐसा जैसा मानिए होए ना तैसा. Ravidas is saying, how can I, like, such a strange sensation of doubt. What can I say about it? What do I say? Whatever I thought it wasn't that. What I thought was real was not real. What I thought was true was not true. Now I'm experiencing truth, and that whole illusion is dispelled. Whenever you're there, whenever I exist, you are not there. Whenever you are there, I'm no longer there. You know, he's very, very deep in this sacrifice of his own identity. The one Lord is in all forms, and he enjoys himself existing within every single heart of being. Ravidas states, God is no further away than your hand is from your body. Stop looking outside. God is as close as your hand to your body, and whatever will be, will be. So don't worry. Thank you so much for your time. We have about 5 minutes to address few questions and points. So I'm just going to look real quick. I want to, we have our standard duties in serving together as a community. So I have to make an announcement. This class is presented to you by Sikh Dharma International, one of your original legacy nonprofit organizations and a sister organization of 3HO. And I don't know if you know this, but up until about 2005, Summer Solstice was a joint venture of Sikh Dharma International and 3HO, and we're all here together as a family. So just have to give that plug to them. We normally present, Sikh Dharma International normally presents extensive series on in-person classes and kirtan events at summer and winter solstices. During this time of worldwide pandemic, we're also offering several weekly online programs along with a wide array of information about Sikh Dharma on our website and blog. You can go to sikhdharma.org, www.sikhdharma.org. Please feel free to check there. Let's see. Page number of Sri Guru Granth for the Shabad. I'll look it up. It is page number 657. And I wish all of you a very happy Peace Prayer Day, happy Juneteenth, happy Sad Sangat gatherings, and a happy summer solstice. And I'll be thinking of, it's so sterile in these environments. I get to see some faces, but it's not the same as being together at 3 o'clock in the morning doing Japji up at Ramdaspuri, and we really miss everybody. And hopefully, God and Guru willing, we'll be able to gather again very soon. Thank you so much for everything that everybody does, all the service and upliftment and self-work that everybody does. Keep up, be kept up. Remember to lean on your Sangat, lean on your community, and serve all those around you. Satnam, Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.